watching AppleTechBeast.
This is AppleTechBeast with the Apple Keynote 2014 September the 9th overview sort of video thing. So obviously we're expecting the iPhone 6, an update to the MacBook and Mac Pro lineup, hopefully, and possibly a 4K cinema display, and if I didn't already say, an iWatch, possibly as well. So about 16 minutes away from the keynote now, as you can see, and there have been quite a few cool things popping up, such as this white box sort of thing. So yeah, here you can see it says what's hidden underneath this white box is a talk of town. Keep following to find out, so I'm going to click on that. And you can see it's basically a building covered in whiteboard things. No one has any idea what's going on, but they're all very excited about it. Oh! I don't know whether this is recorded on my laptop, but it says, sorry, your browser doesn't support our live video stream, which would mean that it started because Chrome doesn't support it. So now I'm just going to show you an overview of all these pictures and news things that have happened during the keynote, because it's pretty easy to do so, and it'll be more informative than actually showing you the live stream. Plus the fact that the live stream wasn't working most of the time, and the Apple website has crashed loads because loads of people are watching the live stream, obviously. So I'm going to start right from the beginning, even before the live stream. So you can see here all the press were out. Tim Cook said, looking forward to a great day in Cupertino, and all these sort of things, and there it says it's not just another day in Cupertino, obviously where Apple are based. So you can see here all the people are very excited about it all the tech fans, and then it says here, this is the start of it, Tim Cook takes the stage, and then they introduce the Macintosh. No, they introduced the fact that they introduced the Macintosh at the Flint Centre, is it called? Yeah, the Flint Centre, where they did the keynote this year, or this September. So yes, Steve Jobs introduced the iMac in the Flint Centre in 1998, they said there, and yeah, and then Tim Cook talks about the iPhone, and as you will see now, they went straight into the iPhone 6, which was rumoured, obviously, and all the rumours were completely correct. It looks exactly like the rumours, but no one actually picked up on the fact that there were going to be two. So you can see here it says the iPhone 6 and the iPhone 6 Plus, the best iPhones they've ever made, apparently. And it says, today we're pleased to announce the biggest advancement in iPhone, and that's what Tim Cook said. So, it's got a continuous seamless design, it says there, so it's got no distinct edges with covered glass around the... Yeah, sort of like curved glass around the sides to meet the anodized aluminium, as Apple always have had, because they always have aluminium and glass. So it says there, iPhone 6 is dramatically thinner. They've both got updated Retina HD displays, which I'll talk about more in a second, but I know that the iPhone 6 Plus has in fact got a 1080p display, 1920 by 1080p display. It says some more stuff about its IPS display and all about the colour on the displays. It says here it's got an ion strengthened glass on it, so it means that it's really clear, it's just really nice glass, and all that sort of stuff. But I'm not going to go into too deep information about this, too much depth I mean, because I'm possibly going to be doing more specific videos on all these devices that I mention in the future. So you can see here the iPhone 6 has a 4.7 inch display, which is actually in fact bigger than the iPhone 5S, and then even bigger than that you can have the iPhone 6 Plus, which has a 5.5 inch display. And you can also see that they've moved the buttons on the side, because obviously reaching to the top of the device that's 5.5 inches diagonal is going to be difficult and uncomfortable. As you can see here, the iPhone 6 has a resolution of 1334 by 750 with 326 pixels per inch, so that is more than 720p Retina display. And the iPhone 6 Plus has a resolution of 1920 by 1080 with 401 pixels per inch. So that is a very nice pixel density. I don't think it's that good. It's not at the top. I think there are other smartphones with higher pixel densities, but yeah, it's a very good screen by the looks of it, a display by the looks of it. And then Phil tells the world about the iPhone 6, and then it says about how thin it is. So the iPhone 5S was 7.6mm, the iPhone 6 is now 6.9, and the 6 Plus is slightly thicker, as would be expected, at 7.1. In the 6 Plus, as it's bigger, it's almost like a phablet. You can have landscape mode, and you can have landscape mode in landscape mode in the home screen as well. I can't speak properly because I've had to record this once before, because the mic I used didn't work properly and it recorded really low audio, so I had to boost it all and it sounded terrible. So I've got to record this whole around 20 minutes again. But anyway, yeah, you can have landscape mode in the iPhone 6, so in all the applications and on the home screen, as you can see there. And then, yeah, some more things about the iPhone. So there are now more than 1.3 million apps available for the iPhone, so that is why people choose the iPhone over any other device, because they have way more apps. And yeah, it's got the new chip. So the A8 chip is the new one in the iPhone 6s. So they're up to 50 times faster than the original iPhone, which is crazy, and 25% faster processing power and up to 50% faster graphics. So you can see there, 84 times faster graphics than the original iPhone, which is crazy. And you can see the difference there from the iPhone 4 to the iPhone 6 is absolutely crazy, because nothing really happens from the iPhone to the iPhone 4, maybe even the 4S you could argue, but a lot happens there, and that is crazy. Because I know there's a difference between the 4S and the 5 even, so the 5, between the 5 and the 6 must be crazy. See how a load of new game titles are going to come to the iPhone 6. Someone's saying about how fast it is, and then someone gives a demonstration of a game on there which looked really awesome, I must say. And like I said, I can't show you any of these videos. I'll go more into depth in another separate video of the iPhone and the... Actually, I'm not going to say it yet. You can wait and see what I'm going to say in a second, but yeah, this is all about the games. And Apple are going more on the health app side of things. So there's a health app already installed in the iPhone 6s, and you can see here, for example, it has a barometer, so we can now tell if you're going up molehills, mountains, and everything in between. I thought I didn't read that properly for a second, but yeah, it also has a barometer that senses air pressure, so it knows the relative elevation, and also it can tell if you're on steps or not. So if you were gonna see how many calories you burn on a walk, then instead of it just judging how many steps you'd taken, it would know if you were going up steps, which obviously burns more calories than walking on a flat surface. So yeah, that's quite cool. It has faster LTE than the iPhone 5S, and also more LTE bands than any other smartphone, and better roaming. It also supports voice over LTE, which is really crisp and clear apparently. And it has this Wi-Fi calling thing, so if you've got bad signal, like I did in Scotland when I went on holiday, you could use the Wi-Fi to make calls, and it would be really, really nice and clear then. And there is also an update to the iSight camera, so it's still 8 megapixels as you can see there, but it's f2.2, and it's got all these new sensors and all the glass, and it's all changed, and it looks really, really cool. There's a video there of it, but I will put a link in the description as to where you can watch all these videos and the full keynote recorded. But yeah, that's all that. So you might see some tech reviews say that they like the iPhone for taking photos out of any other smartphone, even though it's only got 8 megapixels, and you can see there that it is why, because everything is it's almost DSLR quality. Everything's the right exposure. It's absolutely amazing, and you can see here the f2.2 is really showing. So you've got the background out of focus and the foreground out of focus, but the subject is perfectly in focus and it looks really crisp and sharp. So the photo there. It's got better face detecting. It's more powerful, as it says there. It's got better stabilisation and burst mode, so it can take up to 10 photos a second. And also for video, you've got 240 frames a second for slow motion video, as opposed to the 120 frames a second you got with the iPhone 5S, which is absolutely crazy. So it says there it replaced the point and shoot camera, which is definitely true. All smartphones have. It's absolutely crazy. And also you have a cinematic video stabilization mode thing, which looks really cool, but I can't show you that because it doesn't work on Chrome. Apple hate Chrome by the looks of it. Time lapse there, which I assume you may be able to do right from the camera app. I'm not sure. I didn't really watch all the keynote because it wasn't working all the time, like I said, but yeah, you can download apps to do that anyway. Continuous autofocus as well. It's got this new special autofocus thing, so that's what they use in high-end DSLRs apparently, and it is the best out of any smartphone, so that's quite cool. Single shot HDR photos, so I know loads of people use HDR for Instagram and things like that, so that'll be useful. and obviously they come with iOS 8, which is available to the public for free, obviously, on September the 17th, I think it was, and I will talk about what devices that is available on. It's got predictive text keyboard things as well, so if it's going to search all the chat you've had before, or the messages you've had before in, say, iMessage or messages, and it will allow you to select, say, a movie, dinner, or not sure, without you even typing it, so it's a lot quicker to respond to messages. And again, there's stuff about the health apps, notification extensions, so you can basically customise what you have on there instead of just having like the stocks on there. Touch ID, you've got more apps available to take use of the Touch ID thing on your phone. So yeah, that's basically a summary. So it's got the A8 processor, new HD FaceTime camera thing, all of that sort of stuff. It's also really environmentally friendly, so it's got a mercury-free LED backlit display, for example, and all that stuff. It's got new silicon cases for the iPhone 6 and new leather cases for the iPhone 6 and 6 Plus. And here are the prices. So for the iPhone 6, 128GB, you've got it's $400 with a 2-year contract. For the iPhone 6 Plus, it's $500 for the 128GB model. And for the iPhone 5C, for example, for the 8GB model, it's free on a contract, which is pretty awesome. And if you didn't notice, from me saying it really casually, then you can get a 128GB model of the iPhone 6 now, which is really, really cool. Because you can only get that on an iPad before, I think. And you can see here the iOS 8 is compatible from the iPhone 4S and onwards, and from the iPad 2 and onwards, which is really good as well. So someone's saying about the 240 frames a second there, which is really cool. And also, I can't remember the names. Justin Timberlake was in this advert. They showed it in the keynote, and I can't remember his name. It's an American TV presenter, really famous. Can't remember his name though because I don't watch American TV, obviously. But yeah, that was quite funny. And here we have Apple Wallet, or whatever it's called. I can't remember what it's called. But basically, it's their new way of paying for things, because I've noticed that loads of companies have tried to do the electronic payment sort of thing, but it hasn't really worked. So they've done it themselves, and apparently it's amazing. So we'll have to wait and see. And as you can see there, I discovered this when recording the first time, the new iPhone does in fact have NFC compatibility, because that person is just swiping their iPhone over something. So it says somewhere, there you go, a groundbreaking NFC antenna, which is really, really useful, and should have been put in the iPhone a long time ago, but they've put it in now, so there we go. To add a different card, you can just use your iSight camera, for example. That's really, really nifty and time-saving. And you can just use Touch ID to verify certain things as well. So it's using every single little bit of the iPhone to make it really nice for the user. So you can use it with your Macs and your iPads as well also. I've noticed that Apple didn't really mention YOUNOW that much in this keynote. I don't know whether they were meant to do that some other time or whatever, whether it's not ready because it is still in beta. But yeah, they didn't really mention YOUNOW if anyone was wondering about that. And you can see here it's still about pay. Didn't really watch that much of that either, because the keynote wasn't working properly at that time. So yeah, I'll probably do a full video on all these things, like I keep saying, at some point. So yes, that does say Apple Watch right there. So I was just checking something. It does say Apple Watch. So they have in fact got an Apple Watch. All the rumours were right. So you can see there, that's a rubber plastic band thing, wristband. Sorry, that sounded really bad. Yeah, and that's another plastic one, a metal one, a leather one. So, and also that is 18 karat gold plated. Yes, gold. That's really, really cool. So you can see there, that's also metal. And yeah, again, I don't know too much about this. There is too much to explain as well. I can't explain this in even a half an hour long video. So I will do it in another video at some point in time. But yeah, there are 3 types of Apple Watch. It's not an iWatch, it's Apple Watch. As you can see there, that's what the display looks like. It's really, really nice. It's got infrared and invisible LED lights to sense your heartbeat and all that sort of stuff. It's so cool. I wasn't actually that into wearables before, but after watching this, I just want an Apple Watch. It is really very cool. So you can see there again, it's really customizable. You can have whatever colours you want. So that is again 18 karat gold plated. And yeah, you can get 3 different types. You can get the normal one, you can get the sports one, and you can get the I can't remember what it's called, but it's basically the luxury one with the gold plating and all that sort of stuff. And I think it starts at about $350, which is a bit crazy, if I'm honest, because you need an iPhone to use it. But I suppose that's Apple for you, and if you're going to pay for 18 karat gold plating, then you're going to need to pay quite a bit. But yeah, you can also customise your watch faces like that, so you can have like Mickey Mouse, or the Earth's revolving, or a heartbeat, or I don't know, whatever you want. It is really, really cool. You've got vibration feedback as well. You can have live contact with people by tapping on the screen or drawing certain messages, and they'll get it live on their Apple Watch. So yeah, it's really cool. So you can have like a traditional, like a normal watch metal wristband thing, or you can have a sports wristband for sports, as it says in the name, obviously. Also, a cool feature that I noticed was that any photos you favourite on your iPhone or Mac, they'll appear on your Apple Watch, which is really cool. So you can just show people some photos really quickly. And yeah, if you're wondering how you control the Apple Watch, then I'll quickly tell you how. It's got this thing on the side. It's called a crown, digital crown or something. I can't remember. But it's basically the little wheel that you have on the side of a watch. It's there, look. You turn that or press it, depending on what you want to do, and that is basically the primary thing that you use to control the Apple Watch. You can also use the display, because obviously it's touchscreen, but obviously most of the time your fingers will be obstructing the view of the display, so it's not always the best thing to be using. So you can see here, there's the Watch, there's the Watch Sport, and there's a Watch Edition. So the Watch Edition is obviously the fancy luxury one. The Watch Sport is the one with the rubber plastic wristband, which is for sports obviously, and then the Watch one is just the standard one, which you can customise how you want. It requires iPhone, like I said, so it works with the iPhone 5, 5C, 5S, 6 and 6 Plus, and yeah, starts at $350, so it is very expensive, especially when you've got to spend like $600 on an iPhone before, but I suppose that's what you've got to pay. It's going to be a good device. Well, it's got to be a good device if it costs that much, but... And then something very surprising happened. U2 turned up and did a performance. Can't speak. I've already said all this like twice. Very, very annoying. But anyway, yeah, U2 performed, and then they released their album for free until October 13th, I think. So yeah, it was a pretty good keynote. Apart from the fact they only released, well, 3 things really. But I suppose at this time of year they only usually release the iPhone, so it's expected. So yeah, I'm just going to have a look through here. Oh yeah, and also the white box that I'm talking about to start with, or the white sort of thing, is this room here, that room there. So it's basically a big white gallery where all the products are on display, so people could look at them after the keynote. But yeah, that was my overview of Apple Keynote, September 9th, 2014. So you've got the iPhone 6, iPhone 6 Plus, the Apple Watch, and iOS 8. That's just about it. So not that much, but some pretty exciting stuff. I'll be doing some more in-depth videos on all of these sort of things. And there you go, Apple Live is signing off. 9:15. That was about 20 minutes ago. But anyway, yeah, please like this video, please rate it. However you like, comment as well, and subscribe if you like the video, so you can see more on all these things that were released, and tech reviews and all the tech discussions that I do. But yeah, thanks for watching the video, thanks for watching this video, need to learn to speak properly, and goodbye.